Hey everyone, what's going on? Oyster Tea from Good Evening Aussie here, and I'm here to talk to you about the patch 5.08 notes. So it is the last mini patch before the first actual major patch, major content release for Shadowbringers. So Shadowbringers, I'm just going to adjust the mic there, just adjusting my eyeline. So Shadowbringers, the main release 5.0, the actual main expansion patch is coming to an end. We've had 5.01, which brought Eden Normal Mode, 5.05, which brought Eden Savage, and then 5.08, which is just bringing a couple of little balance system changes, nothing major to go through, before 5.1 with the launch of a new 24-man raid, Hades Extreme, so the Dying Grasp Extreme, as well as new main story quests, new dungeon. So lots of stuff coming in 5.1, possibly the Relic, Ultimate as well, 5.11, the next Ultimate encounter. Money is probably on Alexander Ultimate. What else is coming in 5.1? New Game Plus, Restoration of Ishgard, so Endgame for Crafters. So there's lots of stuff coming in 5.1, which probably explains why 5.08 is very, very small and so like doesn't really bring much. There's probably going to be a rework of Ninja's Mudras in 5.1 as well, so I'd expect some job adjustments in there as well. So in terms of playable content, there's stuff about Submersibles and Mandeville Golden Saucer. Not something that we do as a free company when it comes to Submersibles, and I don't really do much of Mandeville Gold Saucer. If you do want more information about that, drop us a comment below and we'll probably get our Gold Saucer expert Jazz to probably let me know some information. I'll put out some information about that. So housing in Spriggan and Twintania is now available on the European Data Centre. So they were the new world introduced with the world visit system and the introduction of new worlds at Shadowbringers. Only available to free companies, even though there have been some people reporting that they are able to buy the houses individually. It's strange the fact that they can't do individual housing because it is something that's done on other worlds, but I think they don't want to sort of like saturate the market when it comes to people not being able to get houses on those two worlds. Battle system changes, so Ninjas had potency adjustments across the board really. Spinning Edge has went up by 20. Gusash, the combo potency has went up by 30. Alien Edge, the combo potency has went up by 40, so has the rear combo potency. Shadowfang, it's went up by 20 on the original combo potency as well as the dot. Armor Crush, 330 to 380 and 390 to 440 for the flank. And Bunchen, the attack potency of the Shadow has changed depending on if it's a melee, range, or area of attack. 200, 100, and 100. And the help text has also been changed to actually show that. Samurai, potency adjustments again across the board. Hagaze has went up by 30. Jimpu, the potencies went up by 20. Shifu, the combo potencies went up by 20. Gecko up by 10. Kasha up by 10 as well. Higginbana, the potency has been increased from 32 to 40. Hisatsu Kaiten, the recast time has been reduced from 5 to 1. And the Kaishi Higginbana, the dot there has been increased by 8 from 52 to 60. People have been reporting over on the balance and on Reddit. It's about a 3% increase for Samurai. However, it is still below Dragoon, so you've still got Black Mage as the main DPS, then you've got Monk and Dragooner, so like number 2 and 3, and then you've got Samurai. People are saying it really does need a 6 to 7% increase, as well as a nerf to Dragoon to get it above Dragoon when it comes to the damage numbers. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any kind of movement for Samurai or Dragoon actually in 5.1. Dragoon very rarely gets nerfed. It's normally one of the things that does get buffed, so it might see a bit of a nerf. It'll be interesting because at the moment it's kind of sort of like that whole, you take a Black Mage, you take a Ninja, you take a Dragoon, so you take a Monk, you take a Dragoon. When it comes to sort of like the meta, that kind of seems to be the meta comp, and then something else as well. So you might take a range physical to get that extra 1% damage. You might take a Ninja for trick attack, and depending on how things are lining up. But there is still seem to be this idea of a meta out there, and it's not something that's going away, unfortunately. Arcanist and Summoner, literally, they've removed all the additional effects, saying if you've got Bio or Miasma, or you've got both, your potency is increased. So Ruin is now flat 180, Rune 2 is a flat 160, Rune 3 is a flat 200, and Rune 4 is a flat 260, so you don't have to have your dots on there anymore. When it comes to the jobs, I was expecting some potency buffs on Machinist, and I was expecting some potency buffs on Dancer, because at the moment, Bard, Machinist, and Dancer, they're all very low down, and Machinist and Bard are very close to each other, so you're not seeing that differentiation in the role. And I'm seeing a lot of podcasts or videos or discussions about how the support classes just don't feel right. So, in my opinion, you kind of have to look at that Black Mage, Summoner, Red Mage situation, in that Dancer's kind of like the Red Mage in terms of it brings lots of utility. Well, Red Mage doesn't bring a lot of utility, it brings Embolden, but it also brings the Raise, which is a massive thing, especially in Prog. Dancer is kind of there, so I'd like to see some buffs on Dancer, because it does help out with the Raid DPS and Technical Step in Devilment, but its actual DPS numbers are just so low. Even the increase from those two things aren't sufficient to make people want to bring it. I play Dancer and my group takes it, mainly because I'm the lead in that group, so I've told them I've got to play it. However, I know that it is the lowest DPS job in the game at this moment, so I am looking at other things. I've tried Bard. Bard doesn't really do it for me. We've already got a Machinist, but I've got Machinist leveled, so I'm trying to work out what to level next. I don't want to go and level Monk or Black Mage, because then Black Mage I've got to 70, it's something I've played previously, but it's not something that interests me in a raid setting. I struggle when it comes to a lot of movement, so I like something that I can move about freely and still deal damage, whereas I don't feel I could do that as a Black Mage effectively. I know that they do have increased movement now, I know that they're not a turret, but for me, it's just one of those things. I don't know if I could play Black Mage effectively, and Monk's just not something that's interested me. Bard is in an interesting position in that does decent damage, it's got decent utility, but again, I've tried to play it in Titania Extreme, and it just doesn't do anything for me. For some reason, I always miss Apex Arrow. I have to have it massively in the middle of my screen just so I notice it. The same with my Bloodletter proc, which is two things that's kind of really important. And plus Bard, if I miss a song out here or there, I do struggle to get back into that routine of where I'm going. Machinist, I want it to have better numbers, because I feel that's where it belongs in this kind of trifecta. Black Mage versus Machinist, I think that Black Mage is in a great spot as a caster. I think Machinist needs to be in that kind of level as a range physical DPS. Lots of people are saying, oh, just give it back some utility and it'll help. No, I don't want it to have utility. Dancer's got all of utility, Bard's got some. I want Machinist to have none. I want Machinist to be Samurai and Black Mage, where there's very minimal, if any, utility. I don't think either of them have any, and literally, I just want it to have big numbers. I want Drill and Air Anchor to be buffed. I want Heat Blast to be buffed. I want Wildfire to be buffed. I want it to be the one that you take as a range physical and go, this is my thing that's going to give me a 98k crit. Or I know Drill does about 42, 44 on my character at the moment. I want Drill or Air Anchor to be that thing that does like a massive crit. I want it to be that thing that does that huge number that gets people interested. And I want it to be sort of like up in that top 4 or 5 DPS, Bard in that middle, and Dancer can be the lowest DPS. It can be the lowest DPS in the game, but I want it closer to the other jobs. Rant over. So, Mount Gulg, there's certain areas in there on the ground. It's really hard to see AoEs. It's mainly on the white bits of the dungeon. They've changed that appearance to make it much easier to see. And then some resolved issues, mainly around the dungeons of Lahagir. Just making sure there's nothing else. No, that's it. And there's an issue with desynthesizing the facet male offending, which is an issue that's been resolved and now isn't. So, like we say, a very minimal patch, not really much in there. I think it's more housekeeping than anything else behind the scenes, ready for 5.1. So we're looking forward to that. Tokyo Game Show is between the 11th and 15th of September, I believe. That is when the next live that'll be. So that will be when you sort of like see me next. I'm on holiday next week, so there'll be no podcast. The podcast will be coming back once the UK kids are back at school and Mr. Murphy has a little bit more time, and then I can actually jump back in and do it with him. And like I say, the next live letter will be then. They'll be talking about 5.1. They'll be showing off some content. Hopefully they'll show off Your Hard Dog Apocalypse, the 24-man raid. Hopefully they'll talk to us about the relic weapon, and hopefully we'll see a bit more of Ultimate as well, or see what the next Ultimate is. Until then, please like, comment and subscribe below. And also, if you're interested, pop over to our Discord, Good Evening Eorzea. Just drop a name and I'll pop the link in the actual comments below, in the subscription below. And if you're interested in joining the free company that we are part of, me and Mr. Murphy are part of, it is Filthy Casuals. We are in the process of rebranding. But until next time, if you would like to drop us a line, we'd love to hear from you. But if you don't, see you soon.